This summer, the lawn has gotten a little bit away from me. As you can see, the weeds have started to overgrow. The lawn is in okay shape, but it's been hot, it's been humid, there's been smoke in the sky, so you can't really come outside to do these sorts of things. Um, so what I'm hoping for is that the Lidax Pro 800 can help me out, kind of help me take over my yard, take it back over, and it can free up some time for me to take care of the weeds, take care of the patio, and all that fun stuff. Welcome back to the product scope where I test out all of these fun little devices to see if they are worth your time and money. Today we are going to be setting up the Lidax Pro 800 to take care of the yard here. Like I said, it has kind of gotten a little bit away from me, so hopefully I can take back the lawn and take back the yard. We are in like the latter half of the summer now, so want to start enjoying the backyard now that the heat is for the most part gone. So let's get things set up and see what it can do. All right, so we are ready to set things up. I've gone ahead and set up the dock. I've plugged it in and I have set the robot lawnmower right next to the dock. I am in the Mova app, and the quick start guide said kind of just download the app, start scanning things. So I am going to go in. We're going to scan the QR code on the robot. So I do know there is a flap right here, and the QR code is right on the flap here. So let's take a look. We want to allow Mova Home to use the location, absolutely. And then we want to connect it to Wi-Fi. Luckily, we do have a mesh router in the garage here, so we should be able to connect. Let's see. Next, confirm that the robot has powered on and completed. Okay, so we have the flap in here. There's a knob that you can turn from off to on. So let's turn that on and then hold down the power button for 2 seconds. 1, 2. It's making some noises. It's playing a little music. Don't know if you can hear that. Let's see.
Welcome to Mova Robot.
Perfect. The initialization is complete, so let's mark that as done. Click next. Press and hold the OK button for 3 seconds to activate Bluetooth pairing. 1, 2, 3. Now it's in Bluetooth pairing mode. We'll click next. Searching for nearby device hotspot. Please wait. So let's see. Connect via Bluetooth. Absolutely.
Start network connection. Connected to network.
Finding the network. And just like that, it's connected to Wi-Fi. So let's finish that off. And now it is in our app. And since I do have the Mova V50, it's all in one app, so I can switch between the two devices here. Let's see, I swipe left to right, and I can access both. All right, so now that we have everything set up and connected to Wi-Fi, I'm going to go ahead and close this, and let's enter. Let's see, so the plugin is downloading. I think just because it's the first time, it's probably downloading something to my secondary phone here. My primary phone is recording, so I had to get this out of storage and kind of connect things together here. So we'll agree. We do have a firmware update. I am going to allow auto firmware updates, but let's go ahead and update it for the best experience for this video. Let's update now, and then we will jump back to things. Update in firmware. We will jump back to things once it is complete. All right, so as we can see, the firmware has updated. Let's go back to the main page and we want to start mapping. So this is going to be a little interesting because I have a square portion of the backyard, but then I have another portion of the backyard that is at a lower elevation that goes down steps. But if you bring the robot to the front yard down the driveway, you can access that second, side yard without going down the steps. So I'm curious to see if I can get this all in one map. If not, then it'll be two maps sort of thing. So let's start mapping. Let's see. The robot must be in the station. All right, so let's get that into the station here. It is currently not in the grass or anything like that. It's in the garage, and then we'll go this way through the gate. I kind of made like a little impromptu ramp because there's a little bit of a lip from the driveway to the patio. So we'll see if that works. Let's kind of push it. No, maybe not push it. Let's pick it up.
Robot is lifted. Please check.
And get this in.
Start charging.
Perfect. It's starting to charge. Let's go back to the phone and let's see. The robot must be in the station. Let's see. I do need to. All right, so the robot is in the station. It has started to charge. It's at about 75% right now. Let's click next here to exit station and send the robot out for calibration. Hit exit station and then keep clear of its path. So let's do that. It is leaving the station. I'm not sure how much we are getting here, but I think, let's see, calibrating about 24%. Let's see, I think it's maybe just trying to figure out where it is from the station here. All right, so the calibration has completed. There's manual mapping and then auto boundary detection. Let's see what that does. It will, it'll send the robot out and kind of look for the boundary. However, because we have so many different levels to the lawn, I think I'm going to manually map. So please keep the robot 4 centimeters from the edge with height difference greater than 10 centimeters when controlling remotely. Let's see, so I'll say got it. And then the robot. All right, so we have controls here, omnidirection, dual joystick, and then start the setting point. Interesting. Okay, so when setting the starting point, keep it at least one robot body length away from obstacles. All right, makes sense. So remotely guide the robot to the lawn edge where the boundary is clearly defined. So let me move the camera to see if we can get it up this little ramp that I have created here. All right, so it's probably the worst ramp that you've ever seen. It's cardboard. It doesn't have a lot of support under it either. So we'll see if it can do it. Okay, pretty easy. It's kind of like a video game on your phone. Let's see if it will do it. I'm just gonna, oh, just like that, it went up. Color me surprised. I was not sure that it was going to do that. So let's remotely guide the robot to the lawn edge where the boundary is clearly defined, then tap start setting point. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna move the camera and we'll do that. All right, so again, it has been quite the summer, as we know. Like I said, the lawn kind of got away from me here. So what we're going to do is let's get the robot sent over to where I want it to start. So I'm going to manually control it and get it over there without crashing. And then, I don't even know, the grass might be a little too long actually. So we'll have to see if we can do this. I'm gonna have it start right about here, and this will be our starting point. So we'll select starting point, stay within 10 meters of the robot during remote control. So let's see, maintain Bluetooth. So I'm going to kind of just set a boundary here. So let's walk around. It's definitely not going to be a straight line. I hope it can fix my my really bad lines here. It is getting through the grass, which is very tall right now. Let's have it turn a little bit here. This will be our boundary. And it is, like I said, it is getting through the grass pretty well. We do have a little bit of a diagonal here. We'll keep going this way. Have to get over this little hump of grass. I am curious to see how it can cut through some of this tall fescue, which is fairly thick. And then we'll go right. Let's see, it is struggling a little, but it did do it. All right. Let's see, and then this is about the edge. Robot has returned to starting point. Beautiful. Let's confirm that. Now it is loading map. Let's see. To connect unlinked zones, use the set passage function. All right. We will connect. I believe what we'll have to do is connect the dock to this zone right here. So maybe we do that. Let's do that after. Let's finish this map. And then station is not connected to the work area, so let's set that passage. Let's see, remotely guide the robot. Not a problem. Let's bring it this way. Bring it back out here. And then I'm just gonna go remote or connect this to the dock real quick, and we'll be right back. All right, so it was a nice thought to have the dock in the garage and then have it come around to connect. However, it needs the dock to be in a grassy area, I guess. So I've put it over here. It's not quite in a grassy area, but I'm going to, let's see, kind of move it around, and then it can find the dock if it pleases. Let's see. I'm going to put it over here again, and then start point failed. So let's see, let's set a passage. All right, so I have restarted the process of mapping this thing. I'm gonna do, let's see, let's exit the station. So let me see if I can take this up over here. So it has just come out of the dock on the left side of the screen there. It's gonna do a little calibration. It's probably gonna spin around, and then I'm gonna actually have it do an automatic mapping this time, so I don't have to do it, and then we will see what happens. All right, so robot has returned to the starting point. We just did it again. Let's confirm that, closing the boundary. Let's see if it can load the map. Boundary closed. Let's see, we have the dock right there. Let's finish map, and let's see what it can do here. Perfect, so we have zone 1. Let's just go ahead, let's send it. Let's use this map right now. So we have different mowing modes. We can schedule things, map management, mowing settings, map view, and FPV. So we can access the camera that is on the robot. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start it for now. Let's see. So before mowing, clear obstacles such as leaves, fruits, or children's toys. We do have a dog, so I have moved his toys a little around as much as I can. Make sure the grass is shorter than 10 centimeters, which I don't think it is. So this might not be fair to do this right now. I might have to cut it down a little myself, but let's see. And then make sure there are no children or pets. Let's start. Let's see. So mowing task has started. The task will take about 53 minutes. Interesting. So let's see what we've got here. I guess what we'll do is, let's see, let's let it rock, see what it can do. So while the other camera shoots a time lapse here, I wanted to come out here and kind of just show what the robot is doing. It has already completed this section of the lawn. It actually looks pretty good. I think just because the sun is out, it's kind of hard to see the lines that it is creating in the grass. That being said, it is doing a good job. I think I gave it a little bit too much of a challenge with some areas of the lawn, like over there. I'll just have to weed whack those down. But I think, after we get this all kind of sorted, moving forward, the robot shouldn't have an issue when it's, performing um, scheduled maintenance on the lawn. So let's go over here. Let's take a look. There are some like clover areas in the lawn here. There's some thinner areas here, and it's just doing it just fine. All right, so we're at about the halfway mark. It says, 54% done. It hasn't been able to cut the tall areas here that we mentioned. The battery is at 17%. It was at, I want to say, about like 74 or 75% when we started all of this. We did a mapping, we did a software update, we did a bunch of stuff, and the grass is super long. So I think it's probably going to go back to the dock to charge itself back up. um, I don't know how long that will take. We'll see. But so far, so good. Like I said, it's making nice lines in the grass. The grass is super tall. I think there will be a couple things we're going to have to dial in as we learn to use this. But like I said, so far, I am very pleased with it. All right, so the robot did go back to the dock to charge. It is back at 72%. While it was charging, I did go ahead and kind of weed whack down some of those tall areas that were way above what is specified for this robot. So to give it like a fair shot, I went ahead and weed whacked those down. What I'm going to do is, let me get the screen recording going. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click continue on the app, and it's going to come out of the station. As you can see, robot is automatically leaving the station and starting positioning. Keep away. So it came out of the dock, and let's see. All right, so the robot has figured out its positioning. Now it is, I think, going back to where it left off. So we will get the time lapse going again once it gets to its area. All right, so we are back in the voiceover studio here, and as the robot kind of finishes things up, moves over to the right side of the lawn where it had started. It didn't go back and, cut down the parts that I had weed whacked down so so it could um go and mow it. Uh you will see that goes back to the dock eventually here, and it got like a overheating warning sort of thing. I think it was because it came off of the charger hot, it was baking in the sun. So I did go ahead and move the charger to the right side of the lawn. That does get shade in the afternoon. Just to start things off, like, I would give it a solid like 7.5 out of 10. It was a little difficult to get things going, but once I did and got the charging pad into the grass, it was fine. I will be doing some more videos here. I want to get it into the other side of the lawn, see how it fares over there because there's some elevation. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Stick around for that, and we will see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.